We're back, everyone, right here in Massenomics Gym in Western Northeast South Dakota, and today we're going to talk about the best leg accessory machines. At least the best ones that we've got, what we like about them, maybe what we don't like about them as well, and find out the differences. Like, everyone can be a little bit different. I don't think there's black and white answers on each.
No, it's a right or wrong thing.
This is, and whatever we say goes.
Our
pretty
conclusion
much
is the right one. So,
yeah, so whatever we say, that's the way it is from now on. And what we're going to look at is three of our machines specifically. The first up on the battle list is the Rogue Rhino belt squat machine, by far our most expensive piece that we're going to cover today, and probably by far the most popular, the one that a lot of people can relate to. Or when I say popular, it's at least like very in vogue, or has been over the last handful.
It's hyped up a lot.
It's big hype on that one. The second one we're going to talk about, I don't know if it's specifically in this order or not, is a classic leg press machine, and ours is a Cybex brand. Bought this used several years ago. I've seen this exact brand style leg press in a lot of gyms, so a lot of people can relate to that one right there. And the last thing we're going to talk about, ours is a very old model, of course, but kind of one of my top favorites is the hack squat, plate-loaded hack squat machine that we've got here at Massenomics Gym. So we're going to take a look at those three specifically. Like I said, what we like, what we don't like. Tommy, which one should we talk about first?
Let's take a look at the Rhino.
Okay.
This is one that's on a lot of people's wish list, I think.
The Rogue Rhino, we bought it here at Massenomics Gym. It's probably been a couple years ago. We actually got a video on that when we're unboxing it and putting it together, I think. You can check that on our YouTube channel. This thing costs like a couple $1,000s, so it's expensive. It's a big commitment. Belt squats are a big deal, though. Everyone's like, I want a belt squat, I want a belt squat, I want a belt squat.
$1,000, sometimes you can debate if the price is justifiable. I think with this thing, there's no debate that it is beefy, overbuilt, and a quality piece.
Super well constructed, and it works well also. And it gets, anecdotally, in our gym, it does get used a lot. Like, that'll be part of conversation, is just which ones do I feel like get used quite a bit. And for anyone that doesn't know, I guess you've been living in a barn that doesn't have a gym in it all of your life. You would grab, the reason it's called the belt squat is because you throw this handy belt on around your waist.
Does the belt come with it?
This belt does come with it, at least at the time. This is the one that comes with it. I don't know if they still use this one with it, but this is like a multi-ring adjustable one where you got a lot of different loop options there. And you stand up with it, get your belt in the right spot that's hopefully not cutting off your audio cord, and then pull this back. This is would be like the safety release, and then you squat down, and you got high handles and low handles, and come back up, and that's a belt squat. And the Rogue Rhino is a pulley system, a cable system on a pulley, so you can position that it's directly below your body, and the weight is pulling in a vertical line, which I like. There's different style belt squats, like our other one was a lever, but then it's moving different. Some people like that better. My experience is I like this style better. I'm not saying that that's the be-all, end-all, but it is what I've noticed, is I like this pulley straight up and down style better.
So if we're going to talk about the pros or even the cons of this one,
yeah,
I think to me the biggest pro in the limited use I've had with this exact machine is how much it targets your legs specifically while having almost zero, maybe even zero load on your back.
Yep, then that would be a big part of why people like it so much. I think there's really no issue of load being on your back. It might even do a little, what is that, traction,
I believe is the term.
Yeah, because it's pulling down like below your spine line a little bit there when you have the belt position correctly. So that is a big emphasis of, I mean, that's why it exists and why it became so popular, I think. Downside is maybe it's fairly big. They make bigger belt squats than this, but this takes up a not insignificant footprint. We have the extra roller on there that you don't need, of course.
Yeah, we got some aftermarket pieces,
right,
the roller, drink spotters, you know.
You do have to have this for one of them, but that's optional. Footprint, and then like I'm going to give every one of the three machines, it's just a feeling, my own personal gut feeling rating. And my thing on the belt squat, every belt squat is I just don't like them that much. And I don't even have a great explanation of why.
So this isn't something you're commonly working into your programming?
I am right now, but it's not. I'm not commonly working on it. It's something I go back to that I want to make myself like.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah, they get my money's worth, kind of. Yeah, and I'll just use it, and just a lot of times I spend not feeling it where I think I should be feeling it. Where I'm like, this is just feels not like what the feeling that I want, and I don't know. I don't have a better way to explain it than that.
Okay. So you're not a huge
that's just
belt
a huge
squat guy,
yeah,
though.
and that's just a hugely subjective thing that I can't even quantify.
But if we're going to go anecdotally again here, you do see this used quite a bit though, right?
Very much.
Okay.
This gets used a lot. Actually, what I see it get used for just about as much as anything is marching. People do marching on this all the time. They load it up, and I guess I didn't demonstrate that, but most people know what marching in place looks like already.
So are guys using that as a warm-up, or what are they?
Warm-up, or like it's like a traction thing, basically. Yeah, but like a warm-up thing a lot. I do see that a lot. And I get to see it used as belt squat a lot. You can also do you can like set it up, put your feet here, do low rows.
Right, yeah, there is some additional options for
that. As a pro, there is some additional functionality of this, although it's not huge. Practically speaking, at least in a gym where we have other options,
those other options are almost useless.
Right. Like people don't use it for most of that stuff because we have stuff that's better suited to do that. But purely in a home gym, you might find that it does add a little bit for that.
All right.
Okay.
So next on the list, should I take you through a run through? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do the old switcheroo here.
All right. So I just kind of throw this thing up in the air and let it see where it lands,
just
right?
Toss it around. You guys might be confused. I'm actually not Tanner.
We're just wearing the exact same thing.
It's new merch day, which means we got to take photos, photo shoots, all that. And you caught us mid photo shoot here, so we have the exact
that is a nice shirt, though.
Outfit on. Yeah, Massenomics.com. Buy one if they're still in stock.
It's that heavy, big, oversized blank.
You will not regret it.
Yeah, this is a new
High
color.
Quality piece here. All right, we're going to talk about the hack squat next. And out of these three variations, this is the one I actually have the most experience with, is the hack squat. We had the belt squat. It was a different one before. I enjoyed using it. But this one is a piece I like a lot. And there's a few reasons why I like this one. The first being that you can adjust your feet position several ways. So when you come over here and look, you can, there's a few things you can do. So
basement
if you want
Brandon
to,
poster.
Yeah, and then you got the basement Brandon poster to look at too.
That doesn't come with it though.
Which is maybe the most inspiring piece of this whole thing. Depending on where you put your feet, you can have it hit you a little different, hit your legs different, your glutes different, all that. And then to me, it really mimics the feel of a squat a lot without having as much load on your back. So if you're someone like me that's had some back issues in the past, it is a nice way to add more stimulus to your legs while giving your back a decent amount of a break.
Right. But would you say less of a break than the belt squat, though?
It is less of a break than a belt squat, but a lot of gyms don't have belt squats.
Right.
Whereas this or the leg press are something you will pretty commonly find in most commercial gyms.
Right.
And when it comes to actually using it, same thing. I mean, this thing's been used and abused, and it's still smooth, baby.
Yep.
And you can go as deep as you want. You don't got to worry about bottoming this thing out. You come right back up. And whether you want to go heavy or do some rep work, I mean, this thing just feels great. It takes the balance factor out of it, so you can just push a little more. And was this always carpeted like that?
That was like that when we got it.
Really? I was going to say, I like that actually.
Yeah, I don't know if that was factory that way.
Good another aftermarket piece there.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about the hack squat, is that it still feels good on my back, and I can get a full range of motion. And it hits my quads really hard. Like, that's what I've loved about it.
I agree. Similar sentiment if I'm going to compare it to what I said about the belt squat. This one, alternatively, I don't know exactly why, but I just love the way it feels. And part of it is what you said about the full range of motion. I can go to the basements on this.
Yes, it's fairly easy to bottom out the Rhino.
Right.
And you can mess with it a little more, but I mean, this thing the stops basically aren't there. You can go, actually, does this one doesn't even have stops.
No.
A lot of commercial gyms do have them.
We don't need safety here other than the drink spotter.
We got a drink spotter.
We got drink
like this thing, that is what I really like. You can, like, the range of motion is insane on this.
And like, it feels like I can go really deep and it doesn't feel like I'm doing some weird butt wig thing or something. It just feels good. Like I feel like I can strain on this and feel it so much in my quads and whatever, you know, depending on where you put your feet, which is a great point that you put out there, where you're going to feel it, but I'm a fan.
Also in this gym, you said this is used a ton, correct?
Yes. This is the newest one, so that's maybe an unfair bias. It's not that new. It's not new anymore for us, but it does get used all the time. There's a period of time when I didn't see someone using it. Still see people I see it get used a lot. I do see it get used a lot.
And these pieces, this isn't something you typically find in a home gym.
Right.
Most commercial gyms have them.
Too much space.
But like this one, I can tell you these things are usually, same with the leg press, are like insanely overbuilt.
Right.
Enormous.
Right.
This one is a little more stripped down probably because it's an older thing, but it works
kinda
totally
works,
fine
yeah.
for this purpose. So if you want one of these in your home gym, you might find one of these on Facebook Marketplace someday.
Right.
And especially one like this is a great item. One of this size is a great one to fit in your house because I've seen ones take up almost twice this amount of room before, and those would not be a good fit for a home gym.
That for $100 was an absolute steal.
God, that is still crazy.
We can't bank on that.
Okay,
Do we talk
final
about number
one.
three?
Should we take a look at the leg press?
Let's do it.
Okay, we're on to the leg press, Tanner, and I'm going to come out and say it. This is my least favorite out of all of them.
So this is what's best in this? 1, 2, or 3? One is
This
best.
is third on the list.
Okay, so this is number 3 for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta actually think about my final official rating because where I fit on this. But so this was the first one out of the 3 we ever had at Massenomics Gym. Probably in a commercial gym, the most common of the 3. Like you almost don't go to a commercial gym that doesn't have these.
It's hard to find a commercial gym that doesn't have a leg press.
We've got the York double-sided hundreds that live on here, and just a very, very, very quick nuts and bolts tutorial, just in case you've never seen anyone leg press before. Throw it up here. Got my barefoot shoes on. Not required, but it does help. And you press. And safety catches, and then pull yourself back up. And that's a leg press.
So
You're welcome for the tutorial.
that really cleared a lot of things up. Can I tell you why I dislike leg presses?
What do you dislike about the leg press?
The motion of the leg press, the movement you're put into, requires rounding of your back at the bottom.
Yes.
Your low back has to round.
Yes.
At least in my experience, every time I've done a leg press, I can't.
If you go low enough, it eventually happens for
I
anyone.
can't get a good range of motion and not get a certain amount of rounding in my low back, and that is just no bueno, uncomfortable. I don't like it. So for that reason, I do not do leg press.
I think that's a really common thing, too. What you're saying is basically what everyone experiences, and I think I even kind of like the leg press, but I still think that that's a limitation by it. I think you're right. Then I'm just actually thinking size-wise. I mentioned size on all of them. They really actually all take up the same pretty much, too.
They do.
This might be the
is
biggest,
big, though. Yeah,
and there's probably way bigger ones than this still, too. So a leg press is going to take up a lot of real estate. Gym bros love the leg press because you can throw a bunch of weight on and barely do partial range of motion.
It's the easiest one to cheat.
Right. It's the easiest one to cheat of the 3. The Rhino is the hardest to cheat because it's the most similar in some ways to a regular squat, I feel like. So I think it's probably the hardest to cheat. And this is the easiest. I medium like it. I have liked it in the past. I use it sometimes. Before we got the hack squat, I actually liked it pretty good. And then
I remember seeing you use this thing.
The hack squat honestly just takes what I liked about this and made it better. The biggest thing is I can go really deep on the hack squat, and my back still feels like it stays in a perfect position.
That's my reasoning right there too.
When I do any of these, I kind of use them more as accessories, like we talked about. So I'm not loading maximal weight. So what I want is like maximal range of motion usually, and I can really achieve that safely, comfortably, effectively on the hack squat, I think. So, but a lot of people like the leg press. I'm not completely shitting on the leg press. I kind of like it sometimes still, but honestly, since we've had the hack squat, I do not use this near as much as I used to. I think that's specifically on the leg press. Is that pretty good?
I think so.
Okay. So do we do our final roundup, our final thoughts?
Final analysis?
Okay. So final order, what's your final order, Tommy? You start at the bottom. We know your bottom here.
Well, yeah, that's 3 all day.
Yeah.
Like no debate about that. I wouldn't even, given the choice, I would never even take one of those.
Right.
Now, where
you'd prefer to see this in the garbage heap.
get rid of that thing, trash it. Where things get a little confusing for me is if I'm thinking, of a home gym context versus a commercial gym context.
That's important because you are a home gym guy.
I am a home gym guy, and if you're gonna say home gym, I'm probably taking the Rhino just for the versatility of it all.
Yeah.
And as far as just straight up, if we're gonna compare the two movement patterns, I'm probably like 51% hack squat, 49 Rhino. But the home gym versatility is what does it for someone like me. Given a commercial gym setting though, I would probably take the hack squat because that versatility doesn't matter as much. It'd still be a really tough one for me, but I would maybe lean a little bit more towards hack squat.
Okay, that's fair. So you're going 3-2-1. Or a 3-2-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1, 2,
3.
3 back there.
Okay, all right. All right, mine's a hot take alert.
Oh.
So maybe we have like
sound the alarm.
Hot take alert. First thing, not a hot take. I'm going bottom of the heap is probably got to be the leg press. Change my mind.
Whoa.
Hotter take alert.
Oh.
Number 3, right here, the belt squat.
Okay.
I do not like belt squats that well, but I'm aware enough to recognize as a gym owner. Here's 2 different ways of looking at it, actually. Me personally, this is bottom of the heap. As a gym owner, it's not. I would actually. It's probably number 2 for me, actually. Just me personally, what I like and don't like to use, though, this is bottom. I do not need a belt squat. If we got rid of all of our belt squats and never had one, I honestly wouldn't care. I'd be like, that's probably fine. I can quit trying to make myself think I want to use that. But as a gym owner, that's not exactly what I see everyone else do and think, because I usually think in those two ways. So that's why I like it, because a lot of people do like it. So I know that that's like a personal thing of mine. Next, depending on how you flip it, is the leg press. I used to like it more, but because of my new number 1 favorite, the hack squat, this is now my number 1. And I would guess even, like, this is a good one. As like you said, it's $100, which is great. It doesn't look nice. It works well, but I'm like, sometimes I wonder, what if we had like a really big, fancy, expensive one? Would it be even better? Would I like it even more? Or would it just be exactly the same?
I'm not sure you would. As someone that used, I think it was, I can't remember if it's Cybex or Life Touch was the one at the gym. And it is absolutely enormous. And it feels almost the same. And actually, the other thing on the nose is even a guy like me, I'm 6'1". Tanner, what are you, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3".
And even on the commercial gym one with the stops all the way out, I could still bottom it out.
Right.
Like, I feel like I was hitting like 95% depth, not 100. So if I was a little shorter or even a short king, I don't know if the commercial gym one would be as good at all.
You know what would probably be what I would like the best? Take this one, I take it apart, I paint the frame black, reupholster it red, and put on a Massenomics carpet.
A little pimp my ride action.
Now, then how sweet would this thing be?
That thing would be really cool. And honestly, for the price, you're still coming out way ahead if you did that on this thing.
Yes, so maybe someday, that's just like a time thing. Like, not even the money, like I'd be all for it, but I just don't want to go through the hassle probably of something that costs $100. But, so that's, I don't know, I think that's my story and I'm sticking to it. How do you feel about it?
We've said it all.
Okay, we've said it all. So these are our 3 options. What other leg accessory machines do you like?
Maybe the only machine you care about
leg curl,
is
leg
a
extension.
leg curl, leg extension.
We omitted those because it's
we're
just like,
taking more
that's
squat.
all separate tier almost to me. I think this is tier A, that's tier 2A probably. Or actually right over here behind us, speaking of the redheaded stepchilds that we kind of omitted in the leg.
Drink holder over here.
Yeah, giant drink holder. And then the GHR, GHD, depending on what part of the country you're from. But what leg accessory machines are your favorite? How do you rank these 3? I want to see your ranking of leg press, hack squat, belt squat. What's 1, 2, and 3 for you guys? We're taking a poll.
No riding the line.
No riding the line, absolutely. So please leave that comment. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already. Watch the Massenomics podcast. Buy some Massenomics merch. Get 20 drink spotters. See you next time.